Welcome to Boundless Byte Studio. Today, we're cutting through the noise around Auckland University admissions. Let's get right to the point. Are their policies helping people learn? Or are they just another example of gatekeeping that locks out real talent? No spin, no sugarcoating, just plain talk. Let's start with the basics. Auckland University is one of New Zealand's leading educational institutions. But if you ask around, a lot of applicants will tell you the acceptance criteria are completely out of touch with reality. Some of these requirements, they're not just tough, they're nonsensical for adults who want to skill up or change direction later in life. For so many people, the current system isn't a gateway, it's a brick wall. Here's what we're really critiquing. This is commentary, so always check the official admissions pages for the latest details. But the message most people hear is simple. Grades first, English tests, even for people who live and work here. And work experience is at the bottom of the list, if it's even considered at all. That thinking is backwards, and it's time to call it out. Let's bring it back to the real world. In the workforce, what matters? Not just your grades, it's about what you can actually do. Whether you're troubleshooting AT issues, managing a construction crew, handling customers on a retail floor, or working in a healthcare lab, your ability to show up, solve problems, and deliver results is what counts. Employers don't hire someone based only on a transcript. They hire the person who can get the job done. Why don't universities take the same approach? Now, let's talk about the obsession with grades. Overweighting old grades? That just traps people in their past. If you're an adult with years of real-world experience, you're not the same person you were at 18. Your priorities, your skills, your work ethic, they've all changed. Yet, the current system expects you to live and die by numbers that were stamped on a piece of paper years ago. That's not just unfair, it's outdated. People grow, people change. Stop locking them into who they were in high school. And then there's the issue of English proficiency. If you're a New Zealand permanent resident or citizen, you live and work here. You communicate with colleagues, clients, and managers every day. Why is it that a one-size-fits-all test like IELTS is still waved around as the only proof of English ability? It's nonsense. There are better, more practical ways to prove language skills. Local work history, references from employers, previous study in New Zealand, or, here's an idea, an actual interview. One standardized test isn't the only measure of reality. Let's use some common sense. Let's get concrete. Meet Alex. They're 28, have 5 years experience in IT support, and they've put down roots in Auckland. On paper, their old grades, maybe from another country, maybe from a rough patch in life, aren't up to the university's standard. But their track record on the job? Solid. They solve problems, support end users, keep systems running. Yet those old grades trigger barriers. Why? The experience already proves readiness for study. Let them in. Let them show what they can do today, not what their transcript said years ago. What do employers actually value? Let's be real. It's skills, a solid portfolio, and the ability to deliver. If you can code, build, analyze, or communicate, you're in demand. The university system should reflect that reality, not worship at the altar of a single number from years ago. There's a real human cost here. Every time someone motivated to upskill or change careers is blocked by old grades, we lose out. They lose the chance to learn and grow. The local talent pipeline dries up. We're not just blocking learning, we're blocking futures. It's time to stop the grades or nothing mindset. Picture that weighted scale, grades on one side, everything else on the other. Now melt it away. Open that locked door. Education isn't a museum for perfect transcripts. It's a workshop for people who are ready to learn and build something new. Grades are just one data point. They're not a life sentence. Don't freeze adults in their 18-year-old report card. Look at who they are now, what they've built, what they've solved, what they've delivered. If a gate exists only to protect a brand, it's not a standard. It's a barrier. Stop making grades the only key. Here's a solution staring us in the face. Recognition of prior learning. If someone already performs the work, give them credit. Don't force them to start from zero just because they didn't take a test or class years ago. Apply real-world logic. If they've shown the skills in the field, acknowledge it. And why not offer a prove-it pathway? Give applicants a trial trimester or a bridging course. If they pass, they stay. Don't judge them on pedigree, judge them on evidence. Measure what someone can actually do, not just what's stamped on their old transcript. Let's be clear, this isn't about lowering standards. It's about fixing broken filters. Keep the bar high for capability, but measure the right things. High standards and fair access are not opposites. They're pillars of a strong education system. Don't confuse snobbery with quality. Now, some recent changes at Auckland University are worth noting. In 2023, the university introduced the Admission and Enrollment Experience Policy. The goal? To make requirements clearer and more accessible, and to recognize a broader range of prior learning and experience. There's also been a push to standardize GPA calculations for program entry, which should make the process more straightforward and transparent. That's a step in the right direction. But there's still a long way to go, especially when the system continues to lean heavily on grades and standardized tests, sometimes at the expense of practical experience. The university has recognized some of these issues. There are ongoing discussions, like the proposed changes to GPA calculation methods scheduled for early 2024, and a broader commitment to widening access and ensuring that criteria are equitable and transparent. But for many applicants, the reality on the ground hasn't changed fast enough. The weight is still on old academic metrics, while practical skills and real-world experience are undervalued. So here's some plain talk to Auckland University. Your approach feels broken. Prioritize real-world experience. Use interviews, portfolios, and New Zealand work history as valid proof of English proficiency and capability. Stop blocking ready learners with outdated hoops. You're not just evaluating students, you're shaping the future of the workforce. And for applicants, don't wait for the system to catch up. Here's your action plan. 1. Build a portfolio. Projects, code, reports, outcomes, whatever proves your skills and impact. 2. Gather employer references that focus on what you can actually do and how you communicate. 3. Explicitly ask for recognition of prior learning or credit for your experience. 4. Request an interview or challenge task to prove your capability directly. 5. If you're told grades only, escalate politely and ask for an alternative pathway. Don't settle for a closed door without a fight. In the end, universities should serve learners, especially those who've already proven themselves in the real world. If you agree, like this video, share your story in the comments, and subscribe to Boundless Byte Studio for more straight talk. Let's keep pushing for an education system that works for everyone, not just the ones with the best report cards from years ago. Let's not forget what's at stake. When we talk about access to education, we're talking about people's lives, careers, and the future of our communities. Every time a policy locks out someone with the drive and experience to succeed, it's not just their loss, it's a loss for all of us. The world isn't run by perfect transcripts, it's run by people who learn, adapt, and deliver. Auckland University, you have an opportunity. You've started to recognize prior learning, and you're making some moves to standardize and clarify admissions. But don't stop there. Make sure your policies match the reality of the modern workforce. Recognize the value of experience. Modernize your English language checks. Don't let a test be the only measure of someone's readiness to learn and contribute. To everyone applying, be your own advocate. Build your case, show what you can do. Push for recognition, ask questions, and don't be afraid to challenge the process. The rules are changing, but they won't change fast enough unless you demand it. At Boundless Byte Studio, we believe in calling it like it is. The old gatekeeping model, grades above all else, is outdated. It's time for a new approach that values the whole person, not just a number from their past. Education should be open to those who are ready to work, ready to learn, and ready to build something new. So let's keep the conversation going. Share your experiences, both the wins and the frustrations. Let's shine a light on what works and what needs fixing. Because at the end of the day, education isn't about keeping people out. It's about letting people in so they can grow, contribute, and make a difference. Thanks for watching. If you're with us on this, hit subscribe, drop your thoughts below, and stay tuned for more real talk from Boundless Byte Studio. Until next time, keep pushing, keep learning, and never let an old report card define your future. See you next time.